If you're a beginner looking at the FX30 as a possible purchase, I guess the big question is it still worth buying in 2026? Or are you better off getting something else? Let's break it down. Welcome to We Shoot Films, where I teach content creators and entrepreneurs how to build their brand or business through video and audio. So if that's you, make sure to subscribe today. So today we're going to be talking about the FX30 from a beginner's perspective. And we're going to break down what actually matters before you spend your money. Now the camera has a 26 megapixel APS-C Super 35 sensor. And no, it's not full frame, but that doesn't really matter because you can compensate for that with either getting a speed booster, which pretty much gets you a full frame look, or just purchasing the right focal length. So there's no way to outgrow this camera. You can actually upgrade with it and just keep it moving, and it stays a part of your system forever. Now the low light in this camera is pretty dope. You get dual native ISO at 800 and 2500 in S-Log3. Now people say you could push this up to 6400 and get a pretty clean look, which I can say you can as long as you have a good denoiser to take out some of it, but it also depends on your environment, your ambient light. It depends on a lot of stuff. If you can, stick to the 2500, but you can push it a little bit. But because it has a nice range, let's just say for ISO, you can sometimes shoot in darker environments. Your footage can stay cleaner because of that, and you don't need expensive lights. At 2500, 3000, 4000, 3500, you can still make smaller type lights look like they're brighter than they are, so you don't have to spend as much, which is a plus. Now, most beginners, you're probably going to shoot handheld, so this is really going to matter too, because this does have reliable autofocus. Even with third-party lenses, I use a lot of Viltrox, Tamron lenses. I don't always purchase Sony lenses because they're a bit expensive, but it does handle third-party lenses pretty good. Plus, it has 5-axis in-body stabilization. You can actually get some real stable footage if you want to, because the FX30 has gyro data, so you can stabilize your footage even more in post using the Sony software, and that's pretty dope. All right, let's talk video resolution and frame rates. Now, this camera does frame rates of 4K at 24 FPS and 30, and 4K 60 with about 10% crop. And 4K is being sampled from 6K, so you're gonna get a real nice clean image. Also, what was added is true DCI 4K at true 24 frames per second for cinema work. What I also love about that they added was shutter angle. Now you get a 180 shutter angle also, so you don't have to worry about changing your shutter based off your FPS. It's gonna do it automatically. Now, if you love slow motion, the FX30 got you, all right? You got 4K, you can get 120 FPS with a 1.6 times crop. And you get a little low noise in low light, but it's usable. But I'll be real with you, unless you really gotta deliver it, you gotta punch in or something, just stick to the 1080p. You can get up to 240 frames per second and HD with no crop, and the footage is pretty clean. So depending on what you need, it's there for you. Now, what else is the Codecs? Because you got a 10-bit color in all frame rates and resolutions. You got S-Log3 for the max dynamic range, and you got great codecs in there. The main tool you want to really think about is XAVC, which is pretty much what you're going to use probably 90% of the time. But they do also have XAVC S1, which can go range between 200 to 600 megabytes per second. And that's crazy. There's going to be a lot of data. You got to purchase a specific SD card for that. But I'm telling you, everything I've shot is XAVC, and it's been fine. So if you want to go crazy extra, you can. But I'm telling you, the XAVC is dope. It's more than sufficient. Anamorphics, and this is something I got to get into more because I want to get some anamorphic lenses, but it does support the anamorphics, all right? So anamorphic D-squeeze at 1.3 times and 2 times. And what I love about Sony so far, about these so far, they keep supporting it, and I appreciate that. But to be honest, even if they stop doing firmware updates with this bad boy as is, it's solid already, man. If you're looking for raw video, this can technically do raw video, but you got to do it externally. You know what I mean? You need an external recorder like the Ninja V or something. You feel me? But, that's just more cost. But if you got it, it's there if that's what you need. But again, I don't worry about that workflow. I'm good with the 10-bit 422 S-Log. It's good enough for what I'm doing. But other cameras cameras do offer that. So you might want to look into those if that's really important for you. Now, what I also love about the FX30 is the full-size HDMI. No little micro HDMIs or minis or whatever they call it. Hate them things, yo. Also, it has dual card and CF Express. Never use CF Express. I've been good with the dual card slots, you know, the SDs. And built-in cooling, no overheating. Now, it does not mean this cannot overheat. There might be a scenario out there that this bad boy will overheat, but I'm telling you, so far, in everything I've done, from green screen work, commercials, weddings, movies, everything, never has it overheated. My Sony A7 IV, it's overheated. And that's why I bought it, to be 100 with you. I bought it because it won't overheat. That was the biggest selling point for me. And plus, look at the body. The body is beautiful and has built-in mounting points. No cage needed if you don't want it, but I still suggest you to get a cage. But technically, it's almost a cage in itself. And if you want to, it has an optional XLR handle for pro audio. For that, you can throw XLR in there, which is cool. And it's actually beneficial, I think. I'm cool with the 3.5, but I can see where in certain workflows or in certain environments where the XLR handle can actually come in pretty handy. I don't have one. I might consider getting one. You know what I mean? But it's dope. So that's dope that it's there for you. And what I also love about having my Sony A7 IV and the FX30 is that I can control it with my Monitor Plus app. This is an app, and you can control it with the Creator app that Sony gives you also. But the Monitor Plus app, man, lets me do everything. I can monitor what's going on. I can change everything. So the Monitor app is dope to have it. It's just in your phone, you know what I'm saying? So anytime you need it, you can use it, and it's dope. So I love controlling that because it can be far away from me. I could hit record. I could change the focal, you know what I'm saying? So I could change everything. So it's dope that it has that connection like that. So it doesn't have to be near me in case it's somewhere where, in case like if you have it on a teleprompter, you don't have to keep going back there checking it out. You can record from here, you can change your settings, and you can see yourself if you need to. So that's a big plus. What is the FX30 not good at? Really, it's just photo. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to get great photography out of this. It'll be okay. You know what I mean? So no real photo shooting, no mechanical shutters on here, and no flash support at all. I got a message from somebody telling me they purchased the FX30 and the flash won't work. And I'm like, well, the flash, it doesn't have any flash support. So if you're a flash photographer, nope. So if you're doing photography, natural lighting, artificial lighting, that's all you can do. It does one shot at a time. You're not going to get multiple bursts. This is not meant for photo. It just takes stills, but it can take some very nice, decent stills. I don't use photo on this for anything at all. It's not meant for that. That's not why I purchased it. I purchased it just for video. So I literally never have really taken a picture with this. But if you just need a pic here, a pic there, the lighting is nice, it'll definitely do the job. So who is this for? This is for content creators, podcasters, music video directors, filmmakers, anything dealing with video. You're going to love this camera. I love this camera, all right? And who it's not for the person who wants to be a photographer, obviously. There's no need to purchase this at this price if you're just an occasional shooter. You're just doing it for a hobby or just for fun here and there. There's no reason to spend all this money. You can definitely spend way cheaper than this and get what you need. If you're just an occasional shooter and, a hobbyist, then no. But if you're a professional and want to level up, this is definitely something you should look at. So is the FX30 still worth it? That's the big question. There's better cameras out there with bigger specs, and there's other cameras that don't cost as much as this. But most of them don't have this design. It's just a beautiful design. Most of them don't have the reliability as this has. Most of them don't have the ecosystem that this has. It has everything you need, from the dual slots to the S-Log to the 10-bit 422 to the Codecs to anamorphic support. It has all the tally lights that you need. It has all the connections without a cage. Still get the cage. But it just, supports everything that you need in one little package that's just great. So I don't even want, truthfully, I even hate to say it's a beginner's camera. It's just a camera that when you're ready to level up, this is here waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not a cheap camera, but it is a camera that can grow with you. Like I said, the mounting system on this is just built to shoot, to work, to last, give you what you need. This is built for it. Look for a camera that's going to build your career up and grow with your career. This camera, I said, could be in my system for the rest of my life, and it'll do me just fine. So whether you're trying to get this for your first time as a beginner, or even if you're a professional, this is one of the best cameras you can really start with. So that's it, y'all. And if you're interested in purchasing the FX30, man, I have the link in the description below. If you use my link, there's no extra cost to you. Just help support the channel a little bit, so I would appreciate if you use it. Other than that, y'all, that's all I got for you. If you got any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down there also, all right? All right, y'all, be blessed. Subscribe, hit the bell on the side so you get notified on time. And like I always say, it is what it is. I'm out, y'all. Oh, yeah. And if you're looking for a camera that's just an in-studio dedicated camera, check this next one out. You're going to love this one. I promise you. I promise you. All right, I'm out.